Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Joey from the So Wizard Podcast, proud members of the Pulse Podcast Networks. TixBlitz is the official ticket provider of the Pulse Podcast Network. Check it out.
Have you been searching for the best ticket deals around? Well, look no further. With TixBlitz, the price you see is the price you pay. And TixBlitz just happens to have over $6 billion in ticket inventory just waiting for you. They absolutely mean it when they say every ticket, every venue, everywhere. And you can save even more with promo code PULSE in all caps to save you 5% off your total purchase. Just go to TixBlitz.com and click the search bar. Search events based on your geographic location. Pick the show you want, and bam, it's showtime. Sporting events, Broadway shows, concerts, and more with TixBlitz.com. And while you're there, be sure to sign up to the email newsletter so you can stay up to date on the latest news and savings with TixBlitz. That's TixBlitz.com. TixBlitz.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.
This is So Wizard, Annie.
This is Mike Burton from Genuine Chit Chat, and you're listening to So Wizard, where the magic happens.
Broadcasting very fast and very dangerous from the planet Malastare. You are listening to So Wizard.
You're thinking people gonna die?
The only podcast to make the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs.
There'll be no one to stop us this time.
What's going on, everybody? It is time for episode number 241 of the So Wizard Podcast. I'm your host, Joey DiCarlo. My co-hosts are the queen of all nerds, Aubrey Litchfield.
You know, I don't know how the internet has given us so much. Been around for so long. It's my thoughts.
This has been your TED Talk. And the expert, Mr. Marquis Marcellus Reagans.
What is going on, everybody? I don't have any abstract thoughts in my head. I wanted to quote Jaden Smith, but I can't even wrap my brain around what he says.
How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't even real, Marcellus?
Thank you. I knew you would come through in a clutch, Joey.
Also, bumma. You are listening to So Wizard Podcast. Three friends discuss the world of nerd, podcasting weekly. This week, we've got some news to discuss, and we've got a bunch of new trailers that came out, including a new trailer for Avengers Endgame. But before we get into that, how is everyone doing this week? Mark Ellis Reagans, what's going on?
Nothing much, and I'm keeping busy working on top secret projects that I can't really talk about. Take away most of my time. For you,
that's just projects then, because all you do is keep secrets.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. It's all top secret. I did go check out a movie this week though. I went to go see Captive State because there wasn't really much playing at the theaters, and I wasn't ready to go watch Captain Marvel again. And there's a review of it on the So Wizard Podcast website. Spoiler alert, I was very disappointed.
I had thought about maybe we should do that for the show this week, and then I just couldn't be asked to get out of the chair and go to the movie.
Oh, God. You would have... Well, I don't know. I don't think you guys would have liked it at all, because it's very M. Night Shyamalan. There's a lot of different threads, and it doesn't really make sense until you get to the end. When you get to the end, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. I get it. But the hour and 20 minutes before that, it's like, what the fuck is happening in this movie?
It sounds like something that would have lost my attention within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's, you can read all about it on the website, but it's definitely, I appreciate what they were trying to do. And I really like that director. I love what he did with the first Planet of the Apes remake. But it's like M. Night Shyamalan. It's a great idea, and the money is behind it. The talent is behind it. It's just that if you can't find some angle to like hook into from the beginning, or even like a half an hour into the movie, if you're still like wondering, what am I supposed to be feeling in this movie? What am I supposed to be questioning? What am I supposed to be liking? By the time they reveal it towards the end, it's like, I don't even care anymore.
Were there any hot chicks in it?
There was one semi-hot chick, kind of, and there was one chick you would have liked it. She looked kind of like Ruby Rose, just like a bad, short hair, badass chick.
All right, maybe I'll watch it.
But she has like 2 lines of dialogue, and she comes in at like the 40-minute mark.
All right, maybe I'll YouTube it.
Yeah. It's one of those movies. If you watch it on Netflix, it'd be fine. You know, as much as I love Cloverfield Paradox, this movie makes Cloverfield Paradox look like fucking Star Wars Episode 7. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right then. How about you, Aubrey? What's going on with you?
I'm living the dream. One day at a time.
All right.
I'm gonna take your word that means everything is going good. That's what I'm gonna believe. That's what I choose to believe.
It's a good philosophy. It's a good way to live.
And all right, Joey, how about you, man?
I'm fine. I haven't really done anything exciting. This weekend, I just basically tried to stay the hell away from Holyoke, Massachusetts, my hometown, because it was the St. Patrick's Day parade weekend. They have a huge road race on Saturday, which shuts down like half the city.
Yep.
And then on Sunday, they have a parade, and it's one of the biggest in the entire country. And it's a huge deal for Holyoke, but it sucks, and it shuts down like the entire city, and you don't want to go anywhere near that place.
Unless you're Irish and you want to drink and be obnoxious with the other St. Patrick's Day people.
Right. I'm Italian, and I'm straight edge, so there's nothing for me that weekend. And I marched in the parade for 4 years with the high school band.
Right.
So I got my fill of the parade. I'm good. I don't know if we've talked about why I don't like the parade, but when I was in high school, I used to work at McDonald's. And the McDonald's I worked at is literally right where the parade starts. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like their Black Friday. Like, they do not allow you to take the day off of work. So even though I had to march in the parade, I still wasn't allowed to take the day off. So I would have to go into work at 4:30 in the morning and work until 9 a.m. and then change into my band uniform in the bathroom at work and then go march in the parade. So that made me hate the parade.
That is the fucking worst, man. That sounds awful.
It was. We had to play the same 3 songs over and over and over again as we marched.
Yeah, the parade is kind of a big deal. It is like literally right around the corner from me. Shout out to Jay Money from Not Another Nerdy Podcast, who would yell my name as he walked down the street. Every once in a while, I would just hear someone yell out, "Mark!" And I go, there's Jay Money. Should I go out and say something? Nah.
Awesome. But yeah, that's about it. That's the excitement. So that's all I did this week, was work, sleep, and try to avoid Holyoke. But enough about us. Let's talk about us. Mark Hellis, tell the listeners where they can find more So Wizard Podcast.
All right. So everybody can go to SoWizardPodcast.com, where you will find new episodes every week. You'll also find some movie reviews from yours truly. You'll find our Netflix and Amazon streaming picks from our buddy, the awesome Adam Wallyhawk. You'll find our merchandise there, so you can purchase some of our t-shirts and look real good while you're representing our show. Another great way to support our show is by doing your Amazon shopping through the link that we have right on that website. You click on the A. You pick out the items that you want, you do your shopping, you receive those products, and that way you'll be helping out our show too. You can also find our social media links on the website. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, so get at us. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review while you're there. You can also find us on a Stitcher radio app for your tablet or smartphone, Podbean, Google Play Music, stream us through Spotify, and you can also stream our show through Podcoin. It's an app that you download, listen to our podcast, listen to a bunch of podcasts, and they actually will give you points, and those points you can trade in for some gift cards. Little money for your pocket. It's very nice. You can support our show through our Patreon account, patreon.com/SoWizardPodcast. A little donation, get some bonus content. Some of the stuff that we've been doing this past few months have been really ridiculous, so definitely check that out. We also have our YouTube page. Follow us on there, and we are part of the Pulse Podcast Network. Shout out to all of our podcast buddies all over the world. Back to you, Joey.
I am Thanos. Give me all your special rocks.
Love. Oh, yeah. I got to give a huge shout out to all our new listeners from Podcoin. Great to see you guys on board and hope you stick around. But now it's time for the news.
Yo, pump it up. It's time for the news. Yo, we getting ready to bring you the news, boy.
All right, Marcellus, what's going on in the world of nerd?
All right, so this week in nerdy news, we had a couple of little movements that's happening on the Marvel front. It seems like Marvel has had a change of heart. As we recall, in the middle of last year, James Gunn, writer and director of Guardians 1 and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, got booted from Marvel because of some offensive tweets that he made 9-10 years ago. Disney was like, "Yo, we can't have you on board. We got to get you out of here." Kicked him out. He went across the street over to DC, where they welcomed him with open arms because they need a strong filmmaker. Gave him carte blanche. He chose the Suicide Squad. Everything looks like it was good to go. And then Marvel said, "You know what, James? We might have made a mistake. Why don't you come on back and do Guardians 3 for us?" So I'm of two minds of this. One, they fired him for a reason, and now they're taking it back. I mean, you would think that anything that had to be done would have been done 6 months ago. His apology, them trying to figure out what they're going to do with Guardians. But the fact that he's back now, I don't know, that there's something about it just I don't like. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But I wanted your opinions on this. What do you guys think of James Gunn coming back to Guardians 3? Aubrey?
I think that this is great. I'm all for, like, we've all said things in the past that were shitty. And I think that that's why we grow as humans. You know, something we're not as knowledgeable about, that we tend to say stupid fucking shit about. And I think, you know, the older we get, the more we figure that out and the more we, you know, gain wisdom on it. So I feel like it was unfair to judge him on something that was so long ago and he apologized for it and admitted that it was shitty. I think he's shown he's not that person today. So I'm glad that they took a step and they're taking a second chance on him.
All right. Joey, what about you, man? How do you feel about this?
I don't know. It's see, I hold grudges forever.
Right.
I never forgive and I never forget. Even if I might act like I do, I never forget. I have grudges from 4th grade still. So if I happen to see like a certain person pop up on Facebook and it's like, oh, they got divorced. Oh, they got run over by a steamroller. And it's one of those people on the list. So like, but so, yeah, but I mean, most of his stuff, like, it was offensive, but it was like try hard, like edgelord stuff that wasn't like, it's not like he was like tweeting about how much he loves like being a member of the Ku Klux Klan or something. Right. You know, it's just like it's crap that he would post. And plus he worked with all the trauma people, which are all about that kind of shock type humor and things. So, I mean, I don't think it was that big a deal. I can understand why they fired him for it, but I'm glad he's back because I don't really want anybody else to make a Guardians movie at this point. So I'd rather see him finish out his trilogy and have it be good. Have Batista be happy.
Yeah, that's one guy you don't want on your bad side.
The animal Batista. And yeah, just I'm glad he's back. I understand where you're coming from. I think what happened was the guy that fired him is no longer with Disney.
No, he still is. He's the president.
Or maybe he doesn't have control or Marvel or something. Because that was part of the scuttle was that Kevin Feige, once that guy didn't have the power he had, he could go end around him and get James Gunn back. So.
No, the guy that fired him was the president of Disney.
Oh, okay.
The head dude.
Well, maybe Kevin Feige just said, I want him back, and if not, I'm going to leave, and then you have to have shitty movies. Good luck with your Eternals movie if Kevin Feige's not around. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad he's back. Why do you not think it's a good idea for him to be back, Mark?
I'm just kidding. I just needed to voice an opposing opinion on it. I'm fucking ecstatic, man. Guardians Volume 2 was my favorite movie of that year.
Wow.
His take, and I didn't read any of the Guardians books at all. I liked the first one. I really like the first one. It's a really good movie, but it didn't blow my socks off like everybody else. You know, seeing the misfit crew aboard a spaceship, I've seen that before with Firefly. I've seen it done before.
Ice Pirates.
Yeah, exactly. But the way he was able to craft part 2 to line up with part 1 and feel original and feel very quirky and very much his voice, plus visually, it was amazing. Like, I think Guardians Volume 2 is a accomplishment and a half as far as filmmaking goes. So yeah, I'm more than excited that he's back for part 3. I am super excited. But I wanted to be a dick for a while and be like, yo, Disney had it wrong. Or Disney had it right in the first place. They should have just kept him off.
Well, at least it's not going to be called The Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's only when Brett Ratner comes in for Volume 4 to do.
Oh, God. So, all right, let me ask you guys a question. If there's one 90s song to be on that Zune or a 2000s song to be on that Zune, what would it be? Aubrey.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Mark Ellis.
Oh, that's easy. It will be The Parties remake of Dawkins in My Dreams.
Oh, God.
No one would care except for me, and I would love it.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for Mo Diggity or This Is How We Do It.
Jesus.
You could set a hilarious action scene. The action scene starts and it's just like, this is how we do
Oh, God.
That would be friggin' hilarious.
There you go. Once again, you throw that shit in the internet. Someone's going to do it.
Well, to be fair, when we start getting into the 90s and the 2000s, there's a ton of like pop R&B / rap songs that are iconic. It doesn't always have to be like 70s classic rock. I understand why it was in the context of the movie, but now we're moving forwards. There's a million funny songs that they could use now.
Right.
Like, Gucci Flip Flops by Bad Baby.
That does not count.
Gotti.
That does not count. That's not a 90s song.
Not even a remix with Snoop Dogg?
Not even a remix with Snoop Dogg.
All right.
Sorry. Stop trying to make be hobby happen.
Is that a character in the Aladdin remake?
All right. So James Gunn is back for Guardians 3. Woo! Let's party. Let's celebrate. And in case you're wondering, yes, he is going to still make Suicide Squad, which is like a soft reboot. I don't know. It has some of the same characters, but then it has a bunch of different characters.
Well, that's how the Suicide Squad works. All you need is Amanda Waller, and she just gets new people out of jail. And some of them die, and some of them get released.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable if Viola Davis came back to play Amanda Waller. If she comes back, then I'm going to feel a whole lot comfortable about this movie. All right. So then in other Marvel directing news, they hired a director for Shang-Chi. Destin
Diamond.
Destin Daniel Cretton is going to be directing Shang-Chi, the movie for Marvel. He is another independent filmmaker, or he's another filmmaker who's kind of made his name doing independent movies, kind of like the guys who did Spider-Man: Homecoming and the folks that did Captain Marvel. They do their base in indies, then they get called up to the big leagues. One of his movies that I haven't seen yet, but I remember hearing a lot of good reviews for it, was Short Term 12, which had Brie Larson and Rami Malek and Lakeith Stanfield from Get Out and Atlanta. So that movie has been on my radar to check out. Now I'm definitely going to go check it out. I think this is cool. It's nice that they're going to be doing a Asian superhero with an Asian American filmmaker behind the camera. I'm psyched for this. You guys have any thoughts on this at all, Joey?
I'm super excited for a Shang-Chi movie.
Yep.
I have no idea what this guy has done or directed. Have you seen any of his stuff, Mark?
He's only made like a couple of them, and only one of them has been like on a radar, which is Short Term 12.
So my main concern always will be, can this guy direct action scenes? Especially with a character like this, they need to be clear hand-to-hand combat scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care if he's Asian, white, black, gay, trans, straight. I don't care. I'm going to be an amorphous fucking amoeba blob as long as he can direct clear, hard-hitting, hand-to-hand combat action scenes.
Now, so let me ask you, how do you feel about the action scenes in Captain Marvel? Because those film directors are very indie dramatic films.
No, I didn't think they were that great.
Okay.
There was a lot of quick cuts and stuff. I didn't think they were, but I wasn't expecting that from Captain Marvel. I mean, I'm expecting like, you have a character like Shang-Chi, master of Kung Fu. Okay. You need to put your best foot forward. This needs to be on a level with like The Raid or Tony Jaa is the Protector. Like this needs to be like badass. That's his only power is having Kung Fu. So if the Kung Fu looks shitty, it really doesn't matter what else happens in the movie. So that's really my only concern. And hopefully they don't use any of his stupid superpowers from later on in the comics because those are dumb. But.
Well, I'm sure with Kevin Feige being a producer, it's going to boil down to who can handle like all of the fight coordination. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to use the same dude from Iron Fist, considering that he didn't come back for season 2.
Thank God.
All right. So Aubrey, what about you? How do you feel about, you have any thoughts on Destin Daniel Cretton as the director of Shang-Chi?
I have zero thoughts.
I forgot to ask you before, are you familiar with this character at all?
No, not at all.
Me either.
That's why I have zero thoughts.
Me either. But in Kevin Feige, we trust. So
just think of it like James Bond meets Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon.
Sold. Take my money.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice. All right. So then in other sequel / reboot remake news, this one
reboot qual.
Yeah. This one kind of, I scratched my head on this one. I'm not really sure what is happening on the Hasbro front. They've been putting out their Transformers movies. They had the last one with Marky Mark called Transformers The Last Night. And then they did what I assumed was a soft reboot with Bumblebee, which was actually a really good movie. Didn't really make the big bucks like the other movies did, and as far as the box office goes. But apparently Hasbro is making a sequel to both of these franchises. The Last Night is getting a sequel, and the Bumblebee spinoff prequel is also getting a sequel. So I'm completely confused if these universes are going to collide, if they're doing two separate universes. My brain is just flipping all over the place and I can't wrap it around what they're doing. Are you excited for another Transformers movie, whether it's a Marky Mark one or a new Bumblebee one, Aubrey?
I would be excited for a new Bumblebee one that follows that storyline. I think that direction was fantastic. I loved that movie. That was hands down my favorite Transformers movie that's come out so far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want a Michael Bay Transformers again. I don't. I thought that Bumblebee was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. All right, Joey, what about you, man? How do you feel about two competing Transformer sequels?
What? No.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Aubrey. The very, very first Transformers movie was good to serviceable. They've all been varying degrees of ass since then. What was the first Marky Mark one? Age of Extinction, right?
Probably. That sounds about right.
That is the first time I ever fell asleep in a movie theater while I was watching a movie. It also features a diatribe on the statutory rape laws of Texas. So I will never forget that as long as I live. Fucking weird ass shit in the movie. Yeah, that movie's terrible. And all those movies are terrible. And Bumblebee was really good. And if you subscribe to our Patreon feed, you would know this because we exclusively reviewed it there. But it was really good. And I would be interested in seeing more along those lines, as opposed to whatever the hell those other movies were. I did not see The Last Night, though I heard it was face-meltingly awful.
Yeah, there's some cheesy stuff in there, but I just remembered there's a girl in there who's like, not a girl, a woman in there who's like a teacher, and she's smoking hot, like smoking.
Aubrey, did you see The Last Night?
I own The Last Night.
What?
But in my defense, I also have a 5-year-old who loves Transformers and is amused just by seeing his favorite characters. So I haven't exactly watched it. I've listened to it, and
it's all explosions and
yeah, it's all explosions and like swearing and everything. So like most of the time, I sat there and be like, "Noah, don't say that. Noah, that's not a good word. Noah, he owes you $1." So, I mean, that it just seemed like it was over the top with trying to be funny and everything.
Yeah, if those movies, if they ever make one good Michael Bay Transformers movie that comes out good, I'll be shocked. I'll be stunned. But
yeah, I mean, the Michael Bay Transformers movies are just all the same. They're just trash. I don't ever want to see another Transformers movies unless it's directed by Travis Knight.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, so then in the last bit of news, guys, get ready because
Uh-oh.
We have to go back.
We are
God
going.
Damn it.
Yeah. There's no escaping it. There's no escaping it. We're going back to the DCEU, which is, as of hot breaking news, are going through like a pretty decent shake up today. The president of Warner Brothers Entertainment got fired for being a dirty man, being a dirty old man.
I feel bad for that girl. She like banged him and she got like no parts. She's like person walking in background in like one movie.
No. He got her in 2 movies.
Oh, okay.
There's no supposedly there's no connection, alleged connection
Right.
between those two. But we'll whatever.
Hollywood is falling apart.
So so the guy that oversaw like a lot of the DC movies, he's out of there. But that's not what we're talking about.
No more. If you want to be an actress, you better get on the mattress.
Right, that's the plaque he had on his office. So on his
Hanging on the wall.
they had to remove it. And that's the saying you could take to the streets. All right. All right. So the Flash movie. We've been talking about this, I feel like, for fucking ever. Ezra Miller has decided that the version of the script that's being presented now, written by the guys who wrote Spider-Man Homecoming, he says it's a little too light. That's not really what he wants to do. He wants a more serious take on the Flash. And he's decided, take it upon himself to write a script for the Flash movie that he wants. He will be submitting it to Warner Brothers, and they will decide if the script is good. They will decide if that's the version that they want to make. If they don't decide to make that version, then there's a good chance that Ezra Miller will not be playing the Flash in the upcoming Flash spinoff movie. To help with this transaction, he's hired Grant Morrison to help him write the script. Grant Morrison, infamous comic book writer. So I'm of 2 minds in this, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it first. Joey, how do you feel about Ezra Miller wanting to do a more serious Flash movie that's more in line to where he sees the character?
Well, there's really only one thing to say to Ezra Miller. I fucking hate Grant Morrison. I know that makes me a bad comic book fan, but I can't stand his writing. It is so fucking like, it reminds me of, remember when you were in high school and there always that one annoying guy in drama club that had like a fedora and thought that they were like so deeper and more meaningful than everyone else?
Sure.
Yes.
That's what his comic books remind me of. Like, what is this shit? Just write a good comic book. So, fuck that guy. And Ezra Miller sucks as a Flash. He can't even run.
Oh.
And he wasn't even really like the Flash in fucking Justice League. He was like Quip Machine.
Wait, that's the Flash though. He's all jokes.
Not Barry Allen.
Barry Allen is in all jokes. I'm thinking of the cartoon, like the Justice League cartoon. Isn't that Barry Allen who's like quick with the jokes and wits and all of that shit?
Wally West.
No, Wally West was the younger kid with the white outfit, right?
No, that's Impulse.
Oh, All right, now I'll just shut up then.
which is Barry Allen's grandson from the future. Great grandson.
Okay.
Anyway, so his Flash sucks. Grant Morrison sucks. He sucked in Justice League. Like, what are we hanging on to here? It would be like if we were trying to make an Alien movie with Ridley Scott. All right, never mind. I don't know. Like, why? Just make a fucking good movie. How do you screw up the Flash? Ugh.
Yeah, there's a TV show that's been doing it off and on, right and wrong for the past like 5 seasons, 4 seasons.
The show is more good than bad. So
Yeah.
I don't understand like what is happening here or who on the planet other than Ezra Miller and Grant Morrison, while cashing the checks from Ezra Miller, want a dark Flash movie. Like, what? It doesn't have to be like fucking like a joke movie, but it doesn't have to be like Guardians of the Galaxy. But Jesus Christ, it doesn't have to be fucking Batman v Superman.
Maybe there's a little bit of loyalty to Zack Snyder. You know what I'm saying?
Well, go be in his zombie movie then and leave superhero movies alone. Go be in terrible Harry Potter spinoffs.
Oh.
Get out of here.
All right, Aubrey, what about you? How do you feel about Ezra Miller putting his chips on a table and writing a Flash movie?
I think it's trash, nothing but trash. Hashtag not my Flash.
Wow.
Kal-El, no.
Kal-El, no.
I haven't wanted this movie from the beginning.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, so a couple of things. I actually really like Ezra Miller as an actor. I think he's really good in the right role. He actually did impress me with his Flash portrayal, with his Barry Allen portrayal. I thought he was, I enjoyed it. And I kind of give him props for putting his money where his mouth is. You know what I mean? Like, we sit here and talk about comic book movies all the time. And why didn't they do this? How come they didn't use this character? Why didn't they do this? He's like, he read the script and was like, okay, I've read a shit ton of Flash comic books. I know the character that I was hired to play. And the script is not that character. I want a Flash movie showing the Flash that I would be proud of, that I want to do. So he's writing his own Flash movie. He's the guy who's like going to Warner Brothers and be like, you guys should be doing this. This is how it's going to be done. And instead of being on a podcast bitching about it, he actually has the power to make it. So I give him credit for that.
He also has money.
Yes, he also has money. And he also has the ability to hire one of the biggest names in comic book writing to help him with the script. That's a baller move. It's a baller move. I give him respect for that.
I think so. What Mark is saying, Joey, is that we need to get off of our ass and instead of bitching about it, go hire us a man.
No. But I'm saying that he has the power to do something about it, and he is doing something. So I give him credit for that. But yeah, who really wants a Flash movie? Like, no one really wants it. They just fired Ray Fisher from Cyborg. The only reason I would even want a Flash movie is, A, it's written by the guys who did Spider-Man Homecoming, because they did a really good job with that movie. B, we get a Flash Cyborg team up to play off on that fun interaction that they had during Justice League, which was entertaining. And now we're not going to get any of that. So, give props to Ezra Miller. Joey, like you said, he can just go off and make those horrible Harry Potter spin-off movies, if that's the case. But I really want to see how this plays out. Because even if Warner Brothers does take the Miller script and like, hey, this is really good, they're going to fucking kick the Spider-Man Homecoming guys to the curb. The guys who made an amazing Spider-Man movie. I don't know. That's some shady business happening at DC. But then there's also the other side of it where they're doing a Joker movie, which has nothing to do with like the Batman universe. So maybe there'll be 2 Flash movies. Maybe they'll just do one that's just like a kind of weird spinoff directed by, the guy who did The Hangover or some other random comedy. But yeah, that's my take on it. I want to see how this shakes out. I give Ezra Miller props for trying to do what nerds talk about all the time. I wish him the best in his future endeavors. And I'm bummed that Ray Fisher isn't getting another bite at the apple for Cyborg too. That sucks. All right, so that's it. That's all I got for the news.
All right, so we'll be right back after these messages, and we're going to talk some trailers.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is 8-Bit Ray from the Gorilla Brain Podcast, part of the Pulse Podcast Network. Did you know that you could be using this spot to advertise your company or business? Well, I've done the research, and podcastinsights.com report that podcast listeners are loyal, affluent, and mostly college educated. But most importantly, are 5 times more likely to interact with the ad they hear on their favorite podcast than an ad from any other medium. If you would like to advertise your company or brand with our network, it's simple. All you have to do is send an email to marketing@pulsepodcastnetwork.com. I'll say it one more time. marketing@pulsepodcastnetwork.com. And we hope to hear from you soon.
And we're back. All right, Marcellus, it's trailer park time. What have we got for trailers this week?
All right, so let's start with one of the smaller ones. It seems that there's going to be there's been an outcry for years for a sequel to the classic video game adaptation movie Doom, starring Carl Urban and Dwayne Johnson. Nobody knew who The Rock was. Nobody cared who The Rock was at that point.
I care.
But it looks like we're getting I'm not sure if this is a sequel or if this is a remake where they're actually going to try to get it right. But Doom Annihilation is coming out soon. The trailer dropped this week. What did you guys think of it? Aubrey, you're a video game person, so this must have been right up your alley.
You know, I like Doom.
Yeah.
I don't care to see a Doom movie.
Did you like the one with The Rock and Carl Urban?
I didn't even think I saw that one.
Wow. All right.
So you think you're not going to have to see this?
I know I'm going to have to. Damn it.
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Trash.
All right, Joey, what about you, man? You seem like Doom was right up your alley when it came out.
Right. I love the games. The movie is terrible, but like fun terrible.
Okay.
Like it's a terrible movie. Like let's not even get it twisted. I always have a soft spot for movies that remind me of something I would have rented when I was like 11 and just watched by myself. Sitting on the floor of my parents' room. So, and that reminds me of that type of terrible, like random sci-fi movie where you don't even like before the internet, when you had no idea what these movies were. You're just like, oh, the box looks cool.
Right. You want to be pleasantly surprised by something.
Yep. That's how you end up watching like Jimmy Walker and Mark Hamill are the Guyver. You know?
It's a deep cut right there.
Yeah. But, I also have I always have a soft spot for anything with Space Marines in it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, James Cameron and Aliens. And this looks fucking awful. I can't wait to see it. And she's like, die.
All right, now, based on the footage that you saw, do you think this is a sequel to the other movie or like a straight up reboot?
No, it's a full hard reboot.
Nice.
And the company that makes the game, Doom, Bethesda, has already disavowed it and said they have no stakes in the game. They have no control over what people do with the license because they sold the license to make the movie, and these people are going to make a movie.
Wow.
They said it looks terrible. There's nothing they can do about it.
Wow. Does Doom even exist as a game? Like, do they even still make like new? Like, if I had a PS4, can I get like a new Doom game?
Yeah, they just they have it on the Switch and the PS4 right now.
Really?
It's fucking awesome too.
Really? Oh shit! No wonder there's a movie then. That makes sense. All right, cool. All right, so speaking of Space Marines, we're coming up on the 40th anniversary of Alien, Ridley Scott's sci-fi horror quote-unquote masterpiece. And to celebrate this, a handful of directors are going to get a chance to make some short movies set in this universe. The trailer dropped this week, and we got a little taste of what to expect. From what I can see, it looks like just bonus footage from the original Alien movie, and it looks awesome. I am ready for this. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to get it. I don't know where they're going to make it available, if I have to re-buy the Alien anthology again.
Now they're going to be on YouTube.
Oh, sweet. But yeah, we got the trailer, and we got our first look at it. So what did you guys think of the Aliens shorts, Joey?
Oh, yeah, is there a saying, fool me once, fool me twice, can't get fooled again? Something like that?
Sure.
Right. That's another deep cut for somebody out there. But Yeah, I mean, I love Alien. I love Aliens. I love the universe. I like everything about it. They haven't made a good movie since 1986. There were some decent comic books, maybe a couple novels that were ridiculous but fun to read. So, I mean, fuck it. You know, you're going to give some young, up-and-coming fans / filmmakers, you know, some 15-minute movies to make and help them out with the budget and the special effects and see what they can fucking do. I mean, what's the worst that'll happen? I mean, can anything be possibly worse than Alien covered in shit? Though, to be fair, if it was me, I would have made a fucking short about flute playing. And it would have all been about David playing the theme from Titanic on the flute.
It would have been like a guide that you follow through, just like when you're playing Legend of Zelda, where they had the little finger marks.
It would be like, you blow and I will do the fingering.
Oh, shit. All right. Aubrey, you had a chance to take a look at this little trailer that showed scenes from these shorts. What did you think of that? Is this something you might be down with?
Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. I'm excited to see what they release, but the past stuff that they've released recently is shit. So, I mean, how good is it actually going to be? It looks cool, but go ahead, release one of them. Let's see what you got.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how long these are supposed to be. I would imagine it can't be much more than like 10 minutes or so.
Right, like 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. The person I feel bad about is the guy that directed Chappie, who really wanted to get that Aliens sequel off the ground with Michael Biehn coming back and Sigourney Weaver coming back. Like Alien 3 didn't happen. He's been dying to get back into that universe now. So hopefully he'll be one of the directors on this. I seriously doubt it. But it's almost like they say, get the fuck out of here. We're bringing in some new blood. And who knows, maybe if one of them is really good, Ridley Scott will finally take his hands off the reins and let someone else do it. We might be looking at a new James Cameron.
Ooh,
yeah.
This could be somebody's Piranha 2.
Exactly. All right. So then in other trailer news, we got a little bit longer look at Disney's Aladdin. This one showed a lot more scenes, some dialogue between Aladdin and a genie, and Iago. A little bit of the visual style that Guy Ritchie is going for, and finally some actual music from the movie itself, including Friend Like Me and A Whole New World. What did you guys think of this Aladdin trailer? Let's start with you, Aubrey.
Oh, it looks so good. I'm so happy.
Wow.
I'm so excited. I feel like if Robin Williams was alive and he had one person to choose to reprise his role, I feel like he would be honored that it's Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he would be fully supporting that, hands down, like, this is going to be amazing. Seeing Will Smith in that role, like, I feel like it's the Will Smith that I love from Men in Black and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all of his older stuff. I feel like that's the Will Smith that I really enjoy. Not this Will Smith playing Will Smith kind of role that he's gotten into. And watching them, just, it's so great. I loved that movie growing up. It was probably my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah.
And so I am so pumped to see a live action version of it.
Cool. Now, Joey, you had a chance to look at a lot more scenes from this movie. How do you feel about Aladdin?
I don't know. It looks like Aladdin. Am I missing like what all the controversy is about? Like, it just looks like Aladdin. Okay.
Yeah, but Aladdin didn't have like that. I don't know. There's something more real world about it. Like, it definitely has like that Bollywood flavor sprinkled over it, along with the big action set pieces. I don't know. You look at that trailer and you can't say, oh yeah, that movie looks just like this movie X. You know what I mean? Like, there's no other movies that are kind of like that except for, obviously, the animated Aladdin. Did it seem... Yes, it does look like the cartoon, but does it seem like it's something that you want to see?
Well, I mean, do I have a choice? Yeah.
You always have a choice.
I don't want to see it, but I know I'm going to have to see it, so...
That's right.
Sit my ass in the movie theater, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a huge Aladdin fan. I love that movie. That's when Disney animated was on a really good streak, and... Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of the animated movie. That's one of those things where I'm not sure. It's like Beauty and the Beast. Like, the animated one is done so well, I'm not really sure why there's a live action version. But this one, looking at this trailer, seeing how they open up the world a little bit, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. So I'm very psyched to see if this live action movie gets the same emotional reaction from me as the animated one. But it's a good story.
Well, they definitely fixed a lot of the CG problems that were in those first looks. So
yeah,
sadly, it's almost like, why did they not just release this to begin with? And why did they release that other stuff so people could make 5,000 memes making fun of their movie for 2 months? So.
Well, it's a different company that handles the trailers, and they thought it looked good. And that's how trailers work. You can't give all the goods up like right off the front, right at the beginning of the promotion. You got to tease it a little bit. So Aladdin's coming out this year in the multiple line of Disney live action adaptations. All right, so then the last trailer that we want to talk about this week is another look at the Avengers Endgame. Now, usually Marvel will not really say like when they're going to drop a trailer, but they'll give a little hint. This one just came out of nowhere. And you would think that with Captain Marvel riding so high that they would kind of like ease back a little bit and let Captain Marvel have her light. But they were like, hey, you guys like Captain Marvel? We got some more. Here she is. She's in Avengers. So I like what I saw. But I also know not to trust Marvel when it comes to trailers, because there's a good chance that everything that I saw is totally fake. None of those things are probably going to make it into the movie. But what I did see, I liked. So what did you guys think of the Avengers trailer, Joey?
Oh my God. It was amazing.
Really?
It was like Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel. I go, can't wait for this fucking movie to come out. Holy shit. It looked great. It just looks fucking awesome.
Is there any one particular scene or two particular scenes that you thought were just like absolutely amazing?
I loved the shot of them walking in the white suits.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shot of Captain America. Looks like he's in battle. Looks amazing. And then I was seeing Hawkeye's family, and knowing that they're not going to be around probably very long is interesting. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, Aubrey, what about you? What did you think of this Avengers trailer?
I thought it looked fucking amazing, and I am so ready. I mean, there aren't even words at this point. I cannot wait for this movie to come out.
Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't really do a lot of jokes in it at all. Like, when was the last time you saw Ant-Man be that serious for that long of a time? You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have any wisecracks at all through any of it. The one kind of jokey joke they had was Thor and his meeting Captain Marvel. Joey, what'd you think about Captain Marvel's appearance at the end of this trailer?
Be still my heart. I wish I could go off into space for 30 years and come back looking hot like that.
Yeah, she was all like made up and looking all pretty and stuff. And when we saw her in the little stinger in her movie, she had like a nice, like, I mean, she wasn't like all like caked up or anything. She just looked like a, superhero with like longer hair. And then you look at her in this trailer and she's like ready to put on the evening dress and go out into town.
Hopefully with me.
Aubrey, what did you think of Hawkeye's new haircut?
It's cool. It's cool. I'll take it.
I saw someone put a meme of when Thanos snapped his fingers, all of the heroes disappeared. Only Hawkeye's like the side of his hair disappeared. He was fine.
I thought it was interesting to see Captain America and Black Widow and Hawkeye and Iron Man saying they'll do whatever it takes to defeat Thanos, because in Infinity War, that's partially why they lost. Thanos was willing to do #whatever it takes to get the Infinity Stones, including, spoilers, throwing Gamora off a cliff and killing half the universe, whereas Captain America was insistent for the whole movie, we don't trade lives, and they wouldn't just kill Vision.
Yep.
And if they had done that when they first got to Wakanda, then like the rest of the movie doesn't happen. So now they're willing to do whatever it takes. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I am very excited for this movie. I don't want to see any more trailers. I don't want to see anything else online. I talked to someone today and they were like, "Oh my God, did you hear this thing that happened online where someone said," and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear it. I've already messed up one Marvel experience for myself last year. I'm not doing that this year. Nothing more than the basic stuff.
Yep. I took the night of the Thursday release off of work just so I don't have to spend like 4 days hiding my phone and like not talking to anyone, not looking at social media. So, so I'm excited. I'm ready to rock. You know?
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool. One of the other things I really liked about this trailer is that they padded it with a lot of scenes from the other movies. So even though it's a long trailer, only half of it's from the new movie, and the rest of it is like, remember in Captain America this happened, and in the first Thor this happened. Shout out to Thor's eyebrows in the original Thor. It was mad blonde.
Awesome.
So that's it. We are all on board for Avengers Endgame, which is about 6 weeks away.
Yeah, not too long now.
Ooh, let's do it. I've been so like I was so hyped for that trailer that I wound up watching Avengers Infinity War again this weekend. It's a good movie, man. It's a good movie.
We're just trying to find time to watch it. That's my wife is now caught up with every movie we have except for Infinity War. And obviously Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel, because those could take place after Infinity War. But she's watched all the MCU up to Infinity War, so we're just waiting for some free time to watch that.
Nice.
And she has no idea what happens in the movie.
Oh, man, that's going to be a great reaction from her then. You get to the end of it. What? No!
Awesome. All right. Well, that is all the news that's fit to print. Let's get some recommendations for the listeners out there. Aubrey, what do you got for us this week?
Division 2 just came out. I haven't played it, but I've heard it's really fun. I loved the Division 1. So that would be my recommendation for the week because I didn't do anything this week. So
awesome. How about you, Mark Ellis?
It's a recommendation that I did a little while ago. If you have not seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and if you're like me, old school, you want to have the physical copy of it instead of just a digital copy, the DVD comes out this week. So definitely one of the best superhero movies in recent years. Probably the best movie of one of the best movies of last year. Definitely Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on DVD this week. And if you are a DC fan and you wanted to catch up on Titans, but you didn't want to spend $8 a month for the DC app, Titans will be available on Blu-ray this week also. So you can watch all 10 or 11 episodes and see what the hype is about for Titans.
Awesome. Well, I will suggest that everybody goes to SoWizardPodcast.com where they can find the podcast every week. Links to all our social media accounts on the right-hand side of the page, movie reviews, streaming picks, and so much more. SoWizardPodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, just about anywhere under the sun you can find podcasts, including the new Podcoin app where you can earn for listening to your favorite podcasts. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/SoWizardPodcast, where you can support the show monetarily and get exclusive extra episodes of the podcast. Don't forget our YouTube channel, YouTube, search So Wizard Podcast, Adam Wallyhawk dropping videos every week, new exclusive YouTube content. I will suggest that, you know what I watched this past week was Get Out. I finished it.
Holy shit, you finally made it to the end of it?
That's right.
Nice.
And I loved it. It was really good. So I would suggest that maybe you check that out, revisit it, or see it if you haven't, because next week on the podcast, we are going to be reviewing the new movie from Jordan Peele, Us. It's about a magazine that you buy at the grocery store that's all about celebrities every week.
90% of it is Jennifer Aniston. Will she get married or not?
I'm super scared. But we will be reviewing Us. No Aubrey next week. The movie is too scary for her.
Yes, it is.
My wife is scared just from the commercials, so she will not be watching it either. But we'll have a special guest to help us out. I'm not going to say who it is just in case it doesn't work out, but we will have somebody else to talk Us with us with us. And that's going to do it for episode number 241 in a row of the So Wizard Podcast. I've been your host, Joey DiCarlo. My co-hosts are the queen of all nerds, Aubrey Litchfield.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
And the expert, Mr. Marquis Marcellus Reagans.
If you didn't know, it's Fat Kid time. Wakanda forever.
Yep. That's why we paint on walls, guys, because nobody loves us. We'll see you next week. Good journey.